Do you have a weekly list that moves the needle on your revenue goals? For most of you, it's not that you don't take action on your goals. It is that you just aren't broken down. You haven't broken down those tasks into an intentional weekly focus. So let's plan your week like a CEO. Hey, Sony, we see you over there on the YouTube channel. So we're talking about today weekly to-do lists for revenue, okay? And it's coming from our blog of this week, to-do list management that increases revenue. Now, the blog post is located at shaycannon.com/to-do. That's shaycannon.com/to-do. Put that over here on the YouTube side. All right, cool. Because at the end of the day, we all have things to do. I mean, there's no limit to the things we have to do. However, when we put them in lists, we have to understand that we need different lists that serve different purposes. Okay. So on Monday, on part one, we talked about your big to-do list and how it is supposed to be this exhaustive, long list that's more of a brain dump so that you can put your ideas and the things that you come up with over here on this list. Now, we talked about how best to organize this list. I gave you 10 hacks on how to be more effective and successful with this list from a revenue standpoint. So go back to part one from Monday if you want to know about the big to-do list, okay? On yesterday, we talked about paring that big to-do list down into a monthly list, where that list, our goal is to identify what are the projects that we're pulling out that we're going to break down even further. And so I gave you 10 hacks to be successful with a with a monthly to-do list for revenue as an intention. So go back to yesterday, it was part two, monthly to-do list for revenue. Now, today, what we're going to talk about is your weekly to-do list for revenue. We're further breaking it down. So I'm hoping that you're catching the vibe here, right? You start with a big list, you break it down to a monthly list. And then today we're talking about breaking that down to a weekly list, okay? So a weekly to-do list is your commitment to consistent progress, where your big goals stop collecting dust and start getting done piece by piece. It's where you zoom in on the possible projects that deserve your time and attention this week. So your business growth doesn't stall. This week can disappear into a flurry of client calls and email replies and all of these things when there's no plan in place. You busy, but are you progressing, right? So that revamp my sales funnel or launch the mini offer project, it won't move forward unless you break it down and intentionally carve out space in your week to chip away at it, okay? Projects like update your website, execute a visibility strategy, or again, launch that new offer are best served with execution items to be spread across the week. A weekly list keeps the vision in motion and prevents your momentum from dying in your inbox or on your to-do list, okay? Now, that was the blog, but you know, here on the morning show, we give you more. So I'm going to pull out these show notes because you know I got 10 hacks for you. Let me pull it out. Here we go. So these 10 hacks are especially for you to achieve your weekly revenue generating to-do list. Okay. So again, this is the weekly list, but we're intention about generating revenue on a weekly basis. What are some hacks we can use to be successful with that? Okay. Now, I have emphasized that I want you to think about your week as how can I be more of a CEO for my business? So some of this stuff is really from that CEO vantage point. Okay. So keep that in mind. Number one hack, use Sunday. Sunday is the day I pick. Now, y'all might pick a different week, but I like Sunday as the official beginning of my week. So you're going to hear me say Sunday a lot because that's what I do. If you want to pick Monday, that's fine. You can pick Monday. But you want to pick a day that's before the week actually starts, before you actually start with your weekly stuff, okay? These are the things you want to do. So Sunday, use Sunday to skim and cleanse from last week. Okay, so review what the happenings from last week were. What were their impact on your desired goals? Bring in what worked right into this new week, but I also need you to dump what didn't work, including any negative energy around it, to clear your mind for this week's success. Okay, so feel free to add this to a business journal. I'm going to say that a lot on this list, okay? Because there's a lot on this list that you can start making a part of a journal for your business, okay? Keith said he calls it the Sunday reset. I don't call it anything, but Sunday is the beginning of my week. And I kind of got that from, y'all might not know this about me because y'all know I talk about being more spiritual than religion, in that I don't necessarily need people in between me and my father. However, I grew up 7-day Adventist. And one of the things that we were taught is that the week starts on Sunday. So the seventh day is Saturday. So Sunday is kind of ingrained on me as the start of the week. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do on Sunday is hack number 2. You can reinforce the week ahead. Okay, reinforce the week ahead. So maybe revisit that word of the month. Add, in addition to what the vision and energy boards are, we can just go back and get back in touch with that at the beginning of every week. Then we're going to review our planned goals, our planned task, and our planned schedule to make sure everything is in alignment with all that stuff we set up for our month, okay? Make whatever adjustments are needed to finalize your planned week, all right? This is why this is important to do at the beginning of the week, because we're solidifying what this week is going to look like, what these intentions are going to be, and what this energy is going to be. Okay, so we need to do that before the new week starts. Okay, another thing I want you to do on this Sunday or whatever day you pick is check your calendar for your free time. Okay, now that you know what the week looks like at the top of the week, let's look and see, where is our free time? Where are our free time slots? Okay, because at the end of the day, last week we talked about what you should be including in your time. Okay, not just making time, but what should be included. So when you know what your free time is, now we can bring in, identify spaces to work on our business and not just in our business. Now we can look at that free time and be intentional with rest and health as a priority. Now we can look at that free time and infuse the moments that are worth memories that is going to be you living life. Okay, so that's hack number 3. Check your calendar for the free time, and then now we can start plugging in that stuff. All right. Number 4, give a theme to the days of your week. Okay, give a theme to the days of your week. Now, what I mean by that is consider assigning either full days or parts of days with a particular focus. Okay, for example, you can make Monday for content, Tuesday could be for admin tasks, Wednesday can be your midweek strategy or your KPIs check-in day or whatever. But what this does is it allows you a great opportunity to create momentum with batching, right? So you have a day where you're already in the mindset of content, and you take that day to go ahead and get all the content done. As you start working on it, it's just going to get better and better within that batch. Instead of you saying, I'm going to do a little bit on Monday, I'm going to do a little bit on Tuesday, a little bit on Wednesday, you could pick a day to do all content and just be content mindset, content intentional, and have better content and probably get done quicker because you're moving through it quicker because you're focused on the same thing for that long period of time, right? Hack number 5 to be more successful with your weekly to-do list for generating revenue. Rearrange your workspace for a fresh start. Okay. Some of y'all have a nice workspace. It might even be Instagram worthy, Pinterest worthy. But you can even freshen up your stuff with some different stuff. But others of y'all, it's not really Instagram worthy. It's cluttered. Okay. So let's start our week by cleaning this space. Okay, cleansing the space, and maybe even now let's refresh it some. So you can reorganize your desk. You can reorganize the area around your desk. Your desktop background can be something new. Your phone background can be something new. And what is the something new? It could be something that is going to spark your creativity for that week, inspire inspiration for that week, or explode your motivation for that week. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you that stuff works wonders when you're in a bad mood. Yeah. When you infuse something to ignite something different when you're already kind of feeling low, that's how you elevate. All right. Number 6, ask your audience what they want at least once a week. Okay. Ask them what they want. At least weekly, poll your audience on something as a smart form of engagement. Okay. So your audience is the best source of market research, the best source of process improvement, offer enrichment, and innovation. So when you roll out anything that comes from that feedback, because you're going to now start asking them weekly, at least weekly, okay, be sure that you highlight that this came from your people, right? That your community suggested this and you're now doing it. Because what that does is it gives them some ownership as well as recognition. And that's what builds loyalty. Okay. So some of y'all be asking stuff like, does this make my offer good? Guess who you should be asking? Your audience. Okay. Some of y'all be asking, hey, is this a good price point? Ask them, is this valued at this? You know what I'm saying? At least of this. And so that you get this, not necessarily what they will pay, but do they see the value being the same as this in exchange? Okay. Get that feedback. The best market research comes from your community. Some of y'all out here asking your family. Some of y'all out here asking your tunnel vision business besties. Ask your community. Ask your tribe, the people that you actually service, the people that actually listen to you. They're the best form of feedback that will actually grow your business because they're the ones that's going to buy it or not buy it. All right. Number 7, list your weekly wins. This is going to be short and to the point. List your weekly wins. List what you accomplished during the week as progress or what you have completed from your goals. This is another great thing to add to a business journal if you should have one. Okay. Weekly wins. Cool. Cutting, that's straightforward. Number 8, celebrate your wins. Okay. So when you review the weekly wins list, I want you to start celebrating your accomplishments, small and large. So make this a weekly time that will include positive reinforcement or some sort of reward to create, I'm going to say, some magnetic energy around celebration as a tool. Okay. Because what you don't understand is when you are in the mode of celebration, that is kind of like the highest form of gratitude. And that is creating that attractive energy to bring more things to you. More. Okay. More wins, more revenue, more good juju. Okay. Cool beans. Celebrate your wins. Number 9, hold a team meeting weekly. Hold a team meeting weekly. Now, of course, if you have an actual team, that meeting allows for a check-in with client progress, with projects going on, with your company culture, right? Getting to know your team and y'all spending that weekly time together. So that should be a part of your week if you have an actual team. However, even if you don't have an actual team yet, because we're speaking that into your future, you still need to have this meeting. Okay, because this holds space for your future expansion when you do have a team. And for right now, it allows you to check in with your own performance in the many roles you play and the many hats that you wear. Okay, you need to be measuring your performance against the KPIs and decide, just as if you had a team member, are you meeting expectations? Do you need more development around stuff to get better? Do you need somebody else to be doing this? This is the same thing you would do if you had a team. Okay. So hold a team meeting, even if it's just you. Number 10, last but not least, I want you to create a weekly CEO dashboard. Okay. A weekly CEO dashboard. Now, it's going to be like a template, but you're going to fill in this template on a weekly basis with certain data. So we talk about KPIs. There are different sets of different things that KPIs represent. Now, KPIs stand for key performance indicators. It's that measurement that lets you know, are you successful with something? Okay. So you can have KPIs specific to different roles. We kind of talked about that with the team meeting. You can have KPIs specific to projects. You can have KPIs specific to client service. All of these things can have their own set of KPIs. But when I say a CEO dashboard, what I'm talking about is an at a glance look at the health of your business as a whole. Okay. Now, this can include things like what was the complete revenue for the week? What was the revenue in comparison to the weekly goal, right? So y'all have seen line graphs, right, with two lines, and one will be one color, one will be the other color. So one color will represent what is the goal for the week, and one color is going to represent what was your actual revenue for that week. Okay. Another stat that might be something that goes on your CEO dashboard could be what is what are the top performing sources for sales? What are the top performing content for sales? What is the top performing lead magnet for getting you new leads? What is the top performing offer bringing in money? What is your website traffic like? Okay, so these are things that give you a great view at a glance, right? We don't want to, it don't need to be pages and pages long. We're talking about an actual board with a visual of graphs, pie charts, or big numbers, okay? That's, you look at it and you kind of get a sense of how is your business doing this week. All right, cool beans. Now, let me find this question. All right, here we go. I'm gonna drop it in the studio chat. I'm gonna go over here on YouTube and drop it in the YouTube chat. So Sony, if you still with us, you can answer that in the YouTube chat. Okay. Now, the question is, what is something that you do weekly that doesn't serve you or your goals that can free up space for things that will? Because my thinking around this is time is like money. When some people say they don't have enough to do what they want to do, it means they need to reallocate how they are currently spending their time. Okay. That ain't everybody, but that's a lot of people. So I want you to think about the people that told you they ain't have enough money to get something they needed. And then you looked at some stuff that they was buying and you like, shit, that's your money right there. Same thing with your time, right? Some of y'all say, I don't have time to work on my business. I don't have time to do that or whatever. But then if I were to look at how you were spending your time, could I find that time you say you need and that you don't have? That's what I want you to be thinking of. So what is something that you do weekly that you're spending your time on that if you just reclaim that time, you can work on more things towards your goals and be more successful with your business? So that's the question. Now, I understand that's we stepping on toes today, but we stepping on toes all week because this is time management for revenue generating activities. And some of y'all around here living life, but complaining about your business not working. So some of this can get to the root of that. We're going to start with Shawana Kennedy. But I'm going to go back through these 10 hacks without all the extra to remind you of what they are, okay? So, number one hack, and these are your 10 hacks for achieving your weekly revenue generating to-do list. Success with that, okay? Number one, use Sunday to skim and cleanse from last week. Number two, reinforce the week ahead before it starts. Number three, check your calendar for the week for free time. Number four, assign themes to the days of the week so that you can batch stuff and take advantage of momentum. Number five, rearrange your workspace and things around it to have a fresh start to every week. Number six, ask your audience what they want on a weekly basis. Number seven, list weekly wins. Right behind that is number 8. Celebrate those wins that you listed on a weekly basis. Number 9, hold a team meeting, even if the whole team is you. Number 10, create a weekly CEO dashboard. Okay. Now, when we're putting in perspective, the big list and the monthly list and the weekly list, what I want you to understand is you should have already broken down your month into like a project with weekly tasks. And then those are coming from your monthly goals and the monthly task list. So that's how we start. And then to stay on track, you just make sure that the production for your week includes those tasks. Okay. Now, again, the question of the day is, we're going to start with Shawana Kennedy Media. Time is like money. When some people say they don't have enough to do what they want to do, it just means they need to reallocate how they're spending their time. So, what is something that you do weekly that doesn't serve you or your goals that can free up space for things that will? Shawana Kennedy, Kennedy Media.
Good morning.
Marty.
For me, because of how I position stuff, I actually that's not a issue for me. What I have to do is with the time that I have, thank you, Lord, um, moved around. I do have to be better at uh, being organized. I think you mentioned yesterday about having a manager. I know right now my budget is not suited for that, but I have to think as if that. So it's not that I don't have the time, it's being better about the time that I now do have that normally I would have been fulfilling that gap with all of that production. So that's kind of where I'm working on that challenge of being, because I'm a creative, the organizational side of some of the things you just was naming. Because like when you said about holding the team meeting, I do
Yes.
have conversations, but it's not a set block time. Like I could be better about that. You
Yeah.
mentioned even the way you just broke down the KPIs. I could be better about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I don't have the time. Those things need to truly be better arranged and organized for me. So I
Two
rest.
things. I heard you say two things, right? So I heard you say that, hey, I do good with my time right now, but to even reclaim even more of my time, even though I'm only doing things that serve me and my goals, I still need to reclaim more of that time to do more things. And so I need to hire more. I need to have a team, right? So a lot of us have that thing going on where we know that we're doing all that we can do. And until we get help, there are certain things that are simply not going to get done, right? And that's only for the people that are doing the things that they're supposed to do and using their time wisely. There's just that limits your capacity when it's just you. So when you hire teams, that allows you to open up that capacity. Now there are a few things that go along with that. Number one, you can't be over there cleaning the house before the housekeeper come. Cut it out. Okay. If you hire somebody to clean, you stop cleaning. Okay. Or now you've hired somebody, you're spending that budget of money, but you're still spending the budget of time doing what the heck you're supposed to be paying for to reclaim your time and do other things. So I'm going to tell y'all, when you start hiring, your number one job is going to be not to micromanage. Your number one job is going to be to do the things that only you can do, not what you hired them to do. Do what only you can do, so that you're making the money that now helps them to pay for themselves within your business. Okay. So that's the first thing I heard and my recommendation on that. Now, the second thing that I heard is you have a team, but you don't have a routine team meeting, and you may not be leading these meetings in a routine way. Let me tell you, the best way for you to have the best outcome from your team meeting is to make sure it's at the same time and the same day every week. Because what that allows you to do is have the same amount of days in between meetings. It also allows people to be better prepared for meetings. That's a great thing. Okay. But also in your meetings, you need to really be kind of focusing on for the health of your business. Hey, how's the thing going that you were supposed to be doing? Right? Do you need help? Do you need more support? Are there any problems? Okay, because we want to make sure that these people are hitting deadlines. We want to make sure that they have everything that they need. And most people are going to have to ask. I mean, you're going to have to ask. I need y'all to understand that while y'all over here getting all these VAs from the Philippines, you need to understand the Filipino culture and that they want to please. They're not going to just be bringing problems to you as a culture, okay, as a stereotype. So you might have to be intentional about making sure they're not having a problem. They're over there running in circles trying to make sure they're getting it done as best as they can, but maybe you haven't given them all the tools you could have gave them, but you wouldn't know to give them that tool because they're not speaking about the problem that they have. So do you have any problems going on? Where are you with current projects? What is going to be what you're working on this week? Those types of routine things is going to get you more out of this meeting than anything else. Okay. And also don't forget to infuse culture into your meetings, because The meeting time is the only time that most of y'all are going to spend with most of the team and that they're going to spend with each other. So feel free to put a cultural company culture element to that, so that what is something that you want to learn that maybe you don't know right now that you think would be of help to the business. What is something that is a skill set that you have that will be of help to my business that I don't know about? Like, get to know more about these people that are on your team. Okay, so great job, Shawana Kennedy Media, for bringing that out of me for you and others. All right, let's go to Dr. Nikki. Dr. Nikki, what is something that you do weekly that doesn't serve you or your goals that can free up time for you to do just that?
That I do not do, correct?
Yes.
I don't
Something we need
um
to get rid of.
um I don't know if I'm answering this correctly, but I don't set a time. I think about it, but I don't set things that I need to do each day that you stated. Like you said, content this day, or
Mhm.
I'm going to do this day, whatever, whatever. I kind of do everything a little bit every day, and I don't think that serves me well.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, that is definitely subjective to the person, right? Everything might can't be batched because you find that the monotony of it may take you in the wrong direction. So I say try different things, because some things will work to be batched, some things will not, right? For me, if I sat down and had to think about doing the descriptions for the morning show episodes on one day, I wouldn't be I would lose a different momentum, right? So when I do the descriptions every day right after we close the morning show, I'm still in the momentum and spirit and energy of the morning show. So I actually get it done quicker to go ahead and put that description in there and do the SEO right then, right? Now, for some of you, you might be like, girl, that show was 45 minutes. I was spent after that show, giving, I talk most of the time, I'm solving problems. My brain is spent. So I just need to just do it on Friday since the show is Monday through Thursday. Figure out what you can batch and what doesn't work in your favor to batch. So that was for Dr. Nikki and anybody else. All right. Let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what is something that you do weekly that doesn't serve you or your goals that can free up space for things that will?
Okay, so this is more of a by the end of the week, I've spent this much time because it's a daily thing.
Okay.
So I need not to feel I need to be in every broadcast for every
Mm.
Sandy Soup
Yep.
Media. I am in every bloody broadcast, and
Yeah.
that's a whole 4 hour block every day. Even though I tend to also be doing other things, I'm
Yeah.
also looking for, is this going right? Is this playing right? Do I need to go? And sometimes it's good if something goes wrong, but most of the time, nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
So that's a task I actually need to give to someone else.
It is. It definitely is. And especially when you have interns, first of all, you're going to need a SOP so that if something goes wrong, they know what to do in your absence. But also, when you have the interns, you have somebody now that you don't even have to pay to do that. But then when you don't have interns, you can do volunteers. Maybe some of the creators can volunteer to take some nights and do certain things, or I don't know, but it don't have to be you. Look, so that is one of those things of when you get other people to do it, it frees you up to do things that only you can do. So that's something anybody can do with a little direction. So it don't need to be you. So that was a good one, Dr. Tachi. All right, let's go to Dr. Ayana. What is something that you do weekly that doesn't serve you or your goals that could free up space for things that will?
Very good day to everyone. Thank you for passing the mic, Sister Shay. I actually had um, a client, a patient that I was seeing and was losing money on, and I had to just flat out get rid of, discharge. Um, I was taking too much time,
Mhm,
not bringing in revenue.
mhm,
So I was losing financially and time-wise, time that I was spending with a client that could have been better spent building the practice on another end. And
mhm,
for other, I kept getting referrals for this same client type. And I just
mhm,
had to flat out start refusing. No, I can no longer take these people because it's draining me, it's draining my business. So that was a major step that I had to just kind of start refusing and not having a bleeding heart so much because look, my business is bleeding. And then it kind of tickled me when you talked about once you delegate, stop taking that stuff back up. I have
Mhm.
on the personal side, I um I hired a maintenance worker who comes weekly, and
Mhm.
I had to catch myself and say, look, you already hired somebody, just refuse, don't pick that up.
Mhm.
Refuse to take up things that you have already delegated to somebody else. So I was able to reclaim quite a bit of time on the personal side and redelegate some of that to the business side. So that was refreshing. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Keith has put his answer in the studio chat, and he said, I need to keep my butt off TikTok. An hour can easily disappear and haven't even opened my laptop. That said, I'd be adding 3 to 5 to my toolbox. So I think you're saying 3 to 5 hours, right? So yeah. Now let me tell y'all something. I'm not telling y'all that you can't doom scroll as an activity to kind of come down off business. I'm not telling you you can't watch TV. I'm not telling you any of these that you can't have enjoyment in life because I'm not in favor of hustle culture. Okay. What I'm telling you is that if you like to doom scroll, you need to have a time slot for that, a limitation for that. And guess what? At some point, you stop. Okay. And that time slot needs to be a part of your rest and recharge and not just something that happens and that you get lost in. Okay. So, again, I'm not for hustle culture. I'm not going to tell you, oh, don't take a nap. I'm not going to tell you any of those things. But some of the things you're doing doesn't have a time slot, and you're doing those things way more than you're doing the things that you're supposed to do. And that's how you know that you need to reclaim that time. Okay. Dr. Tati said TikTok will take you down it will a psychedelic tunnel. Kimberly said, I take time for myself to do more for others than myself, both personally and business. So in my Maxine Waters voice, I'm reclaiming my time. Yeah, yes, that is you, Kimberly. All right, let's go to Cheryl. Cheryl, what is something that you do weekly that doesn't serve you or your goals that can free up time for things that will?
I'm I'm like Shawana. That's not an issue for me.
Mhm.
Because I'm always reassessing and doing that's just me. I love doing that kind of stuff. Um, I can say though, having that extra block of time, get that free time
Mhm.
is invaluable because I didn't I didn't really appreciate it as much as I could have until I got a call the other day from someone very sweet. You know who you are, and had the time to chat, and to just, you know what I'm saying? There are some things that are just appointed times. And if
Yes.
I've got everything jammed up, I can't do anything. I'm just not available. And I can miss out on some very good opportunities, even if it's just motivational,
Mhm.
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So, what I also do like that you have here is, I'm a planner person, and so when you talked about the business journal, I'm like, oh yes, I'm on track. I got this. But I also have dry erase boards,
Mhm.
or I used to use a Kanban board, but I got tired of all those stickies, but sticky notes. But I
Mhm.
use dry erase boards, and I just have a format on there, and I can
Yes.
just erase the figures and all that good stuff and put it on there. And then I have one that I use for routines, just in case I forget. But I do have a printout that I use and put inside the folder of my notebook, and just in case, so that I'm always aware of, did you do this today? Oh, there's that piece of paper there. Did I get this
Mhm.
done? So anyway, um, this is fantastic. It's always good to know that you're on track, or that you can even fine tune what you're doing even better,
Yeah.
so that that will gain you more time as well. The things that I like to do, and I'm gonna make this short. I'm a little drowsy, so y'all know, yak 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 yak. But the things I like to do, I like to watch movies. I like to listen to music. I like to sing. All
Mhm.
that plays into what I do.
Yeah.
So movies, I'm looking at dialogue. I'm looking at plotting, characterization. How are they filming? Because I do screenplays now, and we've got a couple of movies in production, and so it's like I'm not leaving screenplay up to these other people because sometimes they don't get it because it's not their vision, it's their job. Big difference.
It is.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you for that, Cheryl. Let's go to Dr. Latoya. Dr. Latoya, what is something that you do weekly that doesn't serve you or your goals that can free up space for things that will?
So this is a half and half. Half it
Okay.
serves me because it's a mental break, but half I do need to cut the time
Mm,
that I've devoted to this activity. I've
yeah.
recently become addicted to I don't these little short on Facebook, these little short stories pop up where they
Yeah.
give you half the story.
Yeah.
I am locked in because I now found out how to like go and get the full movies for free or the full short thing
Hmm.
for free.
Yep.
So I probably go through 3 or 4 of them a day.
Hmm.
So I probably need to not probably. I need to limit like the number that I'm going to watch or
Hmm.
give myself the time slot that I'm going to watch them. Because I'll say, oh, I'm going to play this in the background and do X, Y, and Z. But then I get so engrossed in the story, even though literally the story is a copy, paste, repeat.
Hmm.
I get so engrossed in the story, I don't end up doing the other tasks that I'm supposed to be doing. So I need to limit that time and take back some of those hours.
Let me tell you, I know you get sick of it, Dr. Toya, but that is another way we are alike. So most of the werewolf stories that I find start off on Facebook as a little insert, and they get me every time. The K dramas that I put together, that I know I can go and find the whole thing on YouTube, baby. Let me tell you, it's crazy. It's crazy out there. But yeah, I have a time slot that I do it in, and I have to set a timer. Like I don't have an alarm for that. I actually use a timer for that. Like, baby, you got 2 hours. And after this 2 hours, you're gonna do this. So yeah, I definitely go down the rabbit hole. All right, YouTube is bumping over here. So Sony said procrastination. She said, I lose focus. I'm great at the plan and creating, horrible at the follow through. I get discouraged and pay too much attention to my fears. So, Sony, that's a few things, right? So, what I'm going to tell you is spend less time planning, in a time slot, spend less time planning and more time executing. Like, dump that and reverse it. Okay. Like, actually have time slots for the execution of. I'm not going to tell you not to plan. Okay. Because planning helps with when you sit down and execute, you already know what you're doing. Because see, those of us that are not planners, what happens is you have a time slot to execute, but you done spent the whole first half of the time slot trying to plan out what you're gonna do, and then toward the end of your allotted time is when you get started, and now you done lost momentum because now you got to stop and you ain't really achieved nothing. So planning is fine, but you might need a time slot to plan and a time slot to execute. And I'm going to tell you that that time slot to execute should be 4 times larger than that time slot to plan. Okay. So start with that. Also, because you know that you have these fears and this negative juju going on, this is why you surround yourself in your workspace with the affirmations. This is why you play the songs or the gurus in the background that's going to hype you up and put you in the right energy so that you are combating those fears. Okay. So you don't just have the fears and accept that. Know that you might can't stop fearing stuff, okay? But you need to reinforce yourself and fortify yourself against the fears, all right? Cool beans. She said, yes, that's exactly it. Okay. Cool beans. Oh, and also Dr. Toya, she's one of us. Sonia said, yes, those pocket stories. I started listening to them on YouTube, so I don't watch them. Okay. Dr. LaFera is over here on the YouTube side. She said, I started ordering out and ordered a more expensive juicer so I could spend more time with my kids after work. I don't watch TV or get stuck scrolling on social media. That's not for business purposes. So cool. So she brings up a great point, right? There are some things that we're doing that is exactly what we're supposed to do, but what is it that we can invest in that we're spending less time doing it? So when she bought a new juicer, it probably takes her less time to juice now, right? It doesn't mean that when the time she took the juicing wasn't serving her. It means, hey, it's time for you to invest in something so that you don't have to spend as much time to get that same result. So that might be new tech. Like we discussed with Shawana, that might mean new team. It might mean any plethora of things, a new plan. Shout out to Sony. But yeah. So some of the things we're doing, we need to actively be looking at, is this the newer version? Or, is there something else out there that allow me to get this same result or better, but reclaim some of my time? Okay. Because what I need y'all to understand is these people that make millions and billions, they are finding ways to pull themselves out of the business and reclaim more of their time. They got the money and now they want their time back. And so that's what we have to look at, and that's what we have to do. Sony said, I just started doing that. Cool beans. All right. So this week we talked about your big to-do list. We talked about your monthly to-do list. And today we talked about the weekly to-do list. Does anybody have any questions about how to be successful with these lists with a focus on money generating activities or hacks? Any questions, any value adds, any aha moments so far? Tomorrow, what we're going to talk about is daily to-do lists for revenue. Okay. So Cheryl.
I just wanted to say you all can also find the full story on Facebook. You don't even have to go off the platform.
Mhm.
The other thing that I invested in when she talked about, when Dr. LaFera talked about the juicer, I
Mhm.
just bought a toolkit because I buy a lot of, office furniture, stuff like that. And they
Mhm.
always say, well, you got what you need to put it together. Well, I got a file cabinet the other day and they had a wrench in there, but they all had screws. And so I was like, you know what, I'm tired of having to do workarounds and stuff like that if that, when that happens. And so
Mhm.
I invested in a toolkit and I decided, make it my own. I got the cutest toolkit that's pink with little black accents on there, and it's 200 and some pieces. I got everything I need to put. I could probably go try to build a house if I wanted to, but seriously, it is those things that are time saving. And I'm getting ready to hire the housekeeper person, someone that comes in. I have, the shopper thing, the whole 9 yards, and got that on a schedule so that
Mhm.
we're, what I'm saying, so that everything is running smoothly, and then I keep integrating. So the housekeeper person is next. Just as soon as I finish up with Go High Level, and I
Mhm.
think what I'm going to do with that is, yes, I understand more of what they're doing, but I'm going to contract that within my business for somebody to handle. But at least I'll know how to monitor it and have some accountability there.
Yeah, cool beans. And they have whole go high level virtual assistant agencies now. So there's definitely people out there. You can go to Upwork, you can go to Fiverr also. But if you even search on Facebook, go high level virtual assistant, you'll start seeing all the ads. So yeah. Kimberly, I thought you already took your turn, but she said I definitely need number 5. That's the the workstation, your work area. She said that I know that her space is cluttered and that is what she'll do first. She said it's a mess and not presentation worthy at all. Well, the fact that you are about to change the whole location of your workspace, Kimberly, gives you the opportunity to do that. So while you're claiming the new space, make sure that you're not bringing all the clutter with you, and make sure that what you do bring with you, everything has a space. So when it comes time to clean it up, you can put stuff where it belongs. So yeah, Dr. Tachi.
Yeah, a quick aside, because I was going to email you or message you about this yesterday. For the
Mm-hmm.
next movie night, well, it depends on whether or not it's available.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pharrell Williams, Piece by Piece.
Okay. You'll have to remind me because I'm not gonna remember that. So
Okay, I'll do
inbox
that.
me,
Yeah.
inbox me that, inbox me
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So these quick tips, right? They are nice. However, in our paid membership, we give you a system and tools to create goal centric productivity for effective results. One of the tools available as a bonus in our membership is a ebook. And it is to help you to find more time in your week and in your day, right? So it has strategies in it that you may not have thought about to reclaim time with intention. So, for example, a lot of our time is spent, we're going to say, waiting. Right? We go to the doctor's office, we're waiting. You got kids, you got to go to soccer practice, you're waiting. And so, in that wait, you can set yourself up to make that time way more productive for you. So, that is one of the tools that is already in there. Okay. Also, let me just say that dashboards. It's easy to say dashboards and it's easy to talk about them, but let's give you some visuals, right? So, for example, this is a dashboard that has like your product names or your offer names where you can keep up with the sales, right? What is the sales overview in a line graph and in the other type of line chart, okay? So that is one way that you can have a dashboard. Let me show you another way. Another dashboard could be this, right? So you can take any three business KPIs and kind of put them here and understand what your matrix are. And then you can say, okay, new work, proposal success, new work by the month. And then your three KPIs are kind of down here. All right. You also can have one that is a sales KPI dashboard, right? So new customers year to date, sales revenue year to date, profit year to date, average stuff. So you just got different metrics that at a glance, you're getting this temperature of your business. Okay. And then another one could be one that's a marketing KPI dashboard. So this is one that's showing you the traffic sources. It's telling you the visitor by user type. It's talking about all of these different things about how is your marketing going, right? So these are awesome things that represent those CEO dashboards that I'm talking about. Okay. Now, Christmas has come early because as an added bonus, I have uploaded all four of those CEO dashboards to help keep track of KPIs in your business as a way to report how the time that you spend in your business is impacting your revenue and your business goals. They have been added to the membership. They are in the added bonuses folder right now. So the membership, you want to go ahead and be a part of it. It's $97 a month right now, but next month it goes up. I was trying to decide all week, will it be $127? Will it be $147? I've already decided it's going to be $147. And if I can put more stuff in there of value, it might hit $197. So what you might want to do is go ahead and join the membership now. Go to shaycannon.com/membership while it's still $97 a month. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Somebody said something. Dr. Todd said, is the dashboard something available in Go High Level? Nope. Those were PowerPoint dashboards. And you now have them. Dr. Tachi, you're already in the membership. They are now in your vault under added bonuses. Okay. So cool beans. You already have that. You don't have to worry about it being Go High Level. All right, guys, this is another one of those days where you want the hacks from my notes, and there's only two ways to get these notes, okay? Number one is you have to be in our free business mastermind group. They live in the file section, or you can sign up to have the notes and everything about the show sent to your email inbox. Go to shaycannon.com/show, and what'll happen is you'll get 2 emails every broadcast day. One in the morning to say, hey, hop on the YouTube live, we're live, and one in the afternoon that delivers you the link to the replay and the link to the show notes. So go to shaycannon.com/show to sign up for that. Okay. As what's going on in our free membership this week, tomorrow is Collab Live. It's an event we have every month. Your job is to bring what you need as a collaboration and also what you're willing to give in return as value to make it a win-win. I'll live stream into the group to facilitate that for you. All right, cool beans. This has been the Her First Six Figure Morning Show, which is more of an interactive coaching and training experience as part of our free business mastermind group that positions Black and brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first 6 figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. Find out more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, and how to join our highly valuable free business mastermind group. Below in the description, there's a link and more details. All right. Now, if you haven't already, I need you to help me out and like the episode. Okay. I also need you to subscribe to the channel. A lot of y'all are watching us and you're not subscribed to the channel. I don't want you to miss anything. Subscribe to the channel. Also, this is one video in a 4-part series. We end it tomorrow with video number 2. Check out the other videos. All right. And with that, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you right back here tomorrow so we can close out the series.